Hello, good morning. Hi, everyone. If you're on, say hello. We're currently live on YouTube, currently live in the Bead Fenley Beadwork Instructor Facebook page. And let me go ahead and share it to the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. All right, there we go. Hello, hello, good morning. It is December, you guys. It is December 5th, 2025, 10:02 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the Midwest, USA. Holy cow, it is December and it is freezing over here in the Midwest, here in Wisconsin, which is, it tracks the usual for this time of year. So, grr, it's so cold, so cold. Let me know where if you're currently live right now, let me know where you're watching from and what you're working on and what's the weather like over where you are. And welcome to another Bead and Chat live here with me, Fen Lee, your French beading instructor. If these are my office hours, so I come on every Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you have any questions on any of your French beading projects, put them down in the chat. I'm just here to work on my projects while you work on your projects. And if you have any questions, put them down in the chat and I'll see what I can do to help you out. So with that said, let's get started. Really, I don't have a project today. I don't. I don't. So okay, so a little promotions first, right? We introduced last week we introduced two new products for our popular bead flora bead spinners. We introduced a base plate and also a funnel for the bead spinners. So if you have a bead spinner, we introduced these last year, and this year we introduced a couple of ancillary products for them because you guys asked for them, and well, you asked and you got them. So let me go ahead and show them to you. And right now we have a launch sale of 20% off. So let me grab the website here. So go to beadflora.com and use the code BeadsAreFun20 to get 20% off our new funnels and base plates. Let me go grab them. What color should we do? Let's do black because I have black. Black's colors right here. If you are on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay, let me grab my other camera. Let's hope it works. Oh, I think it's already there. So what happened is they changed everything up on me. It's like I can't find things. Where's my other camera? Oh, here we go. All right. So today you can, today what I want to do is to, I guess, package some orders to get out because I have lots of orders to get out. So we have our base plate and we have our funnel. So this is our bead spinner. I don't know if I like using black. Let's use pink. Okay, let's use pink. Do we have a pink? No. I just want it more colorful, not just black, right? Red. Let's do red instead. No pink. Let's do red. So we have our base plate and we have our bead spinners. Oh, this one has beads in there. Okay. Maybe a different view. I'm not sure if I like this view. This. Okay. So let's attach our bead spinner on. So we take our bottom and we attach it. It just screws right on. So if you currently have the bead spinners, you can just go ahead and get the base plate and it will screw on. And Mary from Florida is the one that requested the base plates. And she has been using it. So what I like to do, and you have seen me do this before, is I like to use double-sided tape and tape it onto my work surface. So now you have your bead spinners contained. And with the funnel, what we do is we take this here. Once you're done beading, you take the bead spinner out, you attach the funnel on, and let's put it in a zip top bag. Let's take these papers out and pour it in the zip top bag. All right. Who is here with us? Looks like we've got Natia here with us. Hello from Germany. 39 degrees Fahrenheit. That is pretty warm, according to our standards, right? According to our standards, that's pretty warm. Okay, so now so that's how you use the base plate and funnel. So if you want to take advantage of our launch sale, beadflora.com, use the code BeadsAreFun20 to get 20% off of our new base plate and funnel. Okay, so let me show you real quick where to go. Let's see. All right, so if you are on the website, this is the website here. And to find the bead spinners, the funnel, and the base plate, you just click on here. So you type in beadflora.com. This is the main page. You can either go to the store tab and go down to bead spinner, or you can just click on this picture over here. And we have the funnel here. I mean, that's the base plate here and the funnel here. Choose the color that you want. Silver is very popular this time. I printed some. I added some. I pre-printed some samples, and you know what? The popular colors that we had for the bead spinners before are not the same popular colors that people are getting lately. So that is weird. Okay, so you think you can get ahead of the game, but no. Okay, so I already have the funnel here. I have the base plate here, and you can put in your coupon. Beads are fun. 20. Apply the coupon, and then that's it. Right? And sorry for our international people. I only ship within the USA at this time. So I know with the bead spinners, I did ship internationally, but this time I am not. So, all right, looks like we've got April here with us. Hello, April. Let me get back. Sorry, they changed things on me, so I'm still learning. All right, learning the new system. Okay, April is making headbands, stocking up for next year's 4th of July craft show. Ooh, fun. Okay, I haven't. Oh, speaking of craft show, my daughter is doing some sort of entrepreneurial, like kids entrepreneur fair, and I just taught her and her two friends how to make beaded flowers. So they will be selling some simple continuous loop flowers at their fair. I think next week it's coming up. So fun. Natia says, according to the forecast, we will get warmer air from the Mediterranean. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's going to be in the 60s in Germany. Wow. I'll give you a headache. That I would love that. I would love some 60s weather. And thanks for converting that to Fahrenheit with me, because you know that the Celsius doesn't it doesn't jive with my brain. So thank you for dealing with this American. Okay. All right. Let me get my other camera back up. I'm just going to. Okay. Too many things. Still learning. Changing it up on me. All right. So let's do this one. All right. So I figured today I'll just pack some orders because I need to do that. Okay. While you guys work on your thing, I'll pack some orders. Oh, no, I don't want to do that just yet. Or maybe I'll do one. I'll talk as I do this. Okay, so we talked about, last week, we talked about how time is our teacher and how time teaches us things, right? Time has taught me that I want to floss my stems. That's something that I will continue to do, because if you look at this compared with, do I have my other example here? I don't know if I do. Where's my beaded rose? That's a mess. It's a mess over here. So time has taught me that I want to use embroidery floss to floss my stems because it stands the test of time. And time has also taught me that some ways that I've potted is I need to make some adjustments to some of my potting. It's sad because one of my major projects is falling apart. And that really sucks. And I'm trying to decide on what to do. So let me show you guys. Okay. I've even extended my camera so that I can move my camera around. So let me get out of here for now. Let me move this here. Okay. This is, well, let me just move it and then we'll talk. Okay. Okay. Can we see? Okay. So this is my, I guess, my trellis project, right? So let's see. So my project, my summer flowers project is falling apart. And here's the problem. The problem is, one, I used bark, right? I used bark for the bottom, which is not sturdy enough. I used I used one for my initial project, was which I is still fine. My first project using this method is still fine, which is like over 2 years ago. But this bark that I chose is a lot longer and not as sturdy. So one, I would not use bark as the base anymore. I would probably put something underneath the bark, right? So I need a little bit something else underneath the bark. And two, um, I use this clay, which is normally, if it's in a pot, the clay should be fine. But because there's no wall to contain the clay, it's breaking apart, right? So this is breaking apart, which makes me sad. Um, and it's also dusty, and I need to dust this. I also need to dust it. So I'm thinking I probably need to buy a a longer pot somehow, or put it on top of a piece of wood, and s- and somehow have like a wall here. So a pot or something to contain the clay so it doesn't fall out, right? So the other projects that I have potted using clay is fine. It's just that the clay is drying and not being contained in it's not being contained basically. So my next thought is, while this is happening, why don't I why don't I incorporate my display here with my trellis, right? Why don't I combine these two projects? Because one, I was looking for some flowers. I was looking for some flowers to go underneath my trellis. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Find maybe some sort of pot, pot, long pot, long vessel, somehow, you know what I'm saying, a long vessel, so that I can insert the trellis in, as well as having the flowers, these flowers here. So this would be a combination of so many of my bead along projects. The sweet peas, the sweet peas, the roses, the wild roses, cosmos, um, actually chamomile. What else? These are not the beat-alongs, but this is Lauren Harpster's design, and dandelion, and this is a pattern that is in uh, what is this? Wood violet leaves. Oh my gosh, guys, these need to be dusted so bad. You probably can't see it. You probably can't see it on the screen, but I can see it in person. It needs to be dusted. All right. So I can't see your comments because I'm on the floor. So let me go back here. Mm. Oh, yep, you got the wall. Let me change this up here. Ooh. Okay. All right. Lazy R Farm says maybe you could use a piece of cedar wood and resin on or something. Not sure. Yeah, I have a long piece of wood that I have. Is it a 2x4? I think it's a 2x4. Of putting the 2x4 underneath it and putting the bark underneath it, and then yeah, fixing it. So, but I'm thinking, I don't know. It's a thought process. Need to think about it. So, that, my friends, is what time teaches us, right? Teaches us that we need to, well, we just need to fix things and adjust. I was thinking of, taking it apart and then attaching it attaching it underneath the trellis, right? But I can keep it in the same, but I want to keep it the same as I had it before, because it would be kind of sad to lose that piece in its original form, just to take it apart and have it in a different form. So I kind of don't want that. So, and I guess because it is a whole new, I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. I don't know what I'm saying. So there's that. Time is our teacher. So I probably need to go shopping and look for, or maybe at the thrift store, see, it could be it could be a while, right? I may not find the right I may not find the vessel that I want until, whenever. So I'll just keep looking. All right. April says, I still need to clean my sister-in-law's chamomile. The dust in our neighborhood is terrible. Living near train tracks. That's I don't dust as often as I should. But that's the problem with having so many beaded flowers, is like it gets very dusty. But thankfully in the studio, it doesn't get as dusty. So all of my flowers here, it's not as dusty as it is in the main living area. And the main living area is just, all those flowers need to be dusted more often, which I don't do as often as I like. As often as I like. Okay. Natia says, your broken flowers in the trellis would certainly harmonize beautifully. Yes, I think it will work really well together. And the cool thing is, I don't need to do more beading. So yay, there is that, right? So there is that. Okay, let's bring back my other camera again, because like I said, I'm going to package some orders today. And I'm not going to stay long today because I got so many things to do. Get all these out. So what I like to do is I like to go through these, and I like to put stickers on them. I don't know if you guys keep your stickers on there or not, but I love putting the stickers on to make it more pretty. I've seen some where you guys have taken off the stickers, and that is fine. It's your bead spinner, right? But I get to decide. But I'll still give you a sticker because the stickers make me happy. They make me happy. So, Liz, this is for you. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason. I just go through them and find something. Right? She's got a pink, yellow, and gold bead spinner. Oh, man. Farm says, my keyboard duster that you suggested last week will be delivered today. I never thought I would be excited to dust. When I got it, I was pretty excited, and I was using to dust everything. I mean, it's a vacuum, right? It just vacuums dust. but mine needs to be charged. I'm out of, I need to charge it so I can dust my flowers. Okay. I want to find the right sticker. Nakia said I don't like dusting either, which is why I don't do it often. Yep, same girl. All right. Ooh, I think this would be pretty. Yep, that's just what it looks like. Maybe one more. So normally, if it's like a bigger flower, then I just do one. But if it's like smaller flowers, I'll do one or two. All right. Can y'all see? Here, that'll be better. Okay, let's do pink. Okay, so a nice hibiscus. Okay, there we go. So we've got pink, yellow gold, and a silver funnel. If you are just joining me, welcome to my bead and chat. I'm not beading today, but beading adjacent activities. So let me know what projects you're working on. Okay. I don't know if my funnel can fit in here too. Will this fit in here? I may have done that before. Had it in here. I don't need to figure it out. I know I have done it. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'll figure it out later. Okay, next. Well, I'll just put stickers on these bead spinners. Sticker day. I want to get all these out today. Okay. So if you guys have any questions on any of your projects, put them in the chat. I need some white flowers. Okay. Farm says, I'm working on your beaded succulents. Do you have any suggestions on, Monica. Hello, Monica. Do you have any suggestions on making lacing easier on leaves? I have a hard time getting the lacing right. How are you doing lace as you go? If I remember correct, I don't remember if that's how I had you guys do it or not, but are you doing lacing as you go? Starting the first two, do I even have you lace for the succulents? You say succulent, so I'm thinking the succulent specifically. But let me take a look at it. Let me grab one. Okay, I don't have that project on hand. I think the succulent had jade in it as well. So you're lacing it once it's done. Okay, so as a beginner, I think it would be easier for you to lace as you go. So okay, so this is the project that I have from that set of the houseplants projects. This is what? Oh, snake plant. And this I do believe I have lace as you go. Okay, so this is also part of those projects, which is the African violets. And I do remember having you lace as you go. And I don't have the other project in front of me, so I can't remember if I even have you lacing for the succulent. I probably did. I probably did, but definitely lace as you go. So start with your 3 rows. Start with the 3 rows, and then start the lacing wire. Start with the lacing wire, and then continue lacing. Is that the first project that you're working on from this series? I also don't remember which was the first project. So I gotta look back, but yes, I do recommend that you lace as you go. So it's harder for a beginner. It's harder to lace once you're done. You can definitely do it, right? But as a beginner, it would be a lot easier to lace as you go. And even for me, I prefer to lace as you go whenever possible, just because there are so many factors. It just makes it, when you are making your unit first and then lacing it later, there's a higher likely chance that you will use more beads. But if you lace as you go, it makes your unit as tight as possible, and you will use less beads, 1, and you will use less wire, 2. So that saves on money and resources. You have to buy less beads, buy less wire, right? And also looks neater. So unless it's absolutely necessary, I would lace as you go whenever possible. Okay, so my last project, which was the rose from your first book, it does. Yes, it does. Did I have lace as you go for my rose? I did. I think I did. That I'm sure I had lace as you go. Made the violets, but haven't finished because I assumed the leaves had lacing. Yes, it does. It does have lacing. But yeah, I mean, it sounds harder than it is, but the lace as you go is actually easier than lacing it after, right? So it sounds harder, but it's not. So and overall, I don't think it really matters if you're lacing it's not completely straight, because a lot of times you can barely, especially with something like this, you can barely see the lacing wire from the front if you're using the same color, right? You can barely see it. So ultimately, if it's not straight, it's whatever. If it's kind of slanted, it's whatever. No big deal, right? Well, sometimes I get it in my head and I want it in a specific way, but sometimes I don't care if it's straight or not. Okay. You didn't know about the lace as you go? Hmm. I swear that's how I had it in the in the first in the houseplants project, because that's how I teach the lacing now. I don't teach the lacing after anymore. So it's been quite a few years that's how I started teaching it. I used to have you. I used to teach it where I make the units and then you lace. But it's been a number of years where, like, if you watch the videos, that's how I teach it now. The lace as you go. So I'm sure you can. So go back to the videos. Go back to the videos on in the well, wherever you can wherever the PDF will have a link to the videos, and then you can watch it. Oh, April says Marsha has a tip about using painter's tape to keep your lacing straight. Oh, that's a great idea. Do I think I have painter's. I use painter's tape a lot, not for lacing, but just for using. Let me see. I have some painter's tape right here. Let me see if I can find a unit and test it out. All right. Get some extra units lying around. Let's try it out. Oh, this, I don't have this laced. Shame on me. But this was made before. This was made before. Oh, that is a great idea. I remember seeing. I do remember seeing her tip. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, let me get some red. Let me get some red lacing wire. That is a great idea. All right. What can I cut it with? There's absolutely nothing right here to cut. Okay. So when we are lacing after, we want to have 3 times the width of the unit that you're lacing. So I just like to just measure out 3 times. Start out. I am just trying this painter's tape thing. So hold on to the tail, wrap it around the bead 1 time. So we have the back of the unit facing up. Right, hold on to it. Wrap it around twice. So what I think the painter's tape idea is just to help you help guide you, right? So so you don't go veer off the path too much. It's red on red, so it's barely visible. But that is a great tip. So I noticed that I did try to veer off the path and I went back. And sometimes that happens too, right? It happens to me too. So it's sometimes I realize that my lacing it's like you wonder what happened? Why is it going like in a weird way? And sometimes I let it go and I'm like, that's fine. And sometimes I try to fix it. So I will keep this tip in mind because that is awesome, Marcia. If you're watching, uh, I know you shared it, but but it's different when you try it, right? It's a little bit different when you try it. Well, you can see the lacing layer right there. It's one thing to like see the tip, but to actually do it and then you realize, whoa. So definitely suggest that you guys try it out. Okay. Almost done. A few more rows. We'll get to our last row. We're going to wrap around twice. And let's trim this here and take a look. All right, so it's guide, right? It's a good guide, and makes me like you know how people will cut their bangs. They have like some sort of guide to cut their bangs. Just make sure it's straight, right? Same concept. Okay, Monica says I was making this so much harder than it is. Trying to do it way too tight. Probably, you're probably making it too tight. Okay, but to do it, let me get some beads on here and show you the lace as you go. I have some beads here. Nope. I put them in a baggie. Hmm. Okay, so we're going to do some lace as we go. So if you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat. Okay. So we'll start our basic frame. Get everything straightened out. I mean, it would help to get the wire straightened out in the first place, but you know. Okay. So start our row. Actually, I prefer to do it 4 rows. Start the lace as you go at the 4-row mark is what I like to do now. Because at the 3-row mark, like the wrap here could like fall apart. So let's cut off some lacing wire. So we want to fold this in half. How was that? It's like focusing on the wrong thing. All right, good enough. So we want to fold this in half. Straddle the center row. And I'll show you a different way too. Like wherever you want it. Like most times around the center. I'll try to do in the center. Cross the wires in the back. So now we're at the back of the unit. And we just lace these 2 rows here. Now look here, because of the placement of the beads, your wire is going to be like this. It's slightly veered towards the top, or veers like this way a little bit, right? But if I go to this next spot, it's going to veer this way a little bit. So a lot of times, as hard as we try to get it as straight as possible, I don't know why my camera is like keeps unfocusing. Oh my gosh, hang on. As much as you want to try to keep it as straight as possible, sometimes that's just not how the alignment of the beads are. It's either it's going to go down at this point or it's going to go up a little bit at this point. So this at this spot, it will be less of a slant, right? So I'm going to pick this one. And this is lace as we go. Now we're going to feed more beads on. And bring the row down. And what I like to do is I like to flip to the back so I can see where I'm going with my wire, with my lacing wire. And oh, I didn't lace this. Hang on, let me lace this first. Hello, Simagul. Let me know where you're watching from and what are you working on. Okay, so back to the front where we were. And what I like to do, like I said, is now we're going to lace this part on. What I like to do is I like to flip like this. See, so I can see the lacing wire and lace this row in. Move this out of the way like this and finish our row. Hi, Louise. What are you working on, Louise? Okay, so now we are on our next row. Line it up and hold on to it. Flip. Hold on to it on the bottom and lace. So I'm going to look here. If I go this way, it's going to go slightly up. And if I go this way, it's going to go slightly down. So I'm going to go like this. Okay. And go like this again. Hold on. Okay, so now we're on to the next row. Bring the row down. Hold on to it like this. Flip. So I'm holding on to the back, right? And take our wire, lacing wire, lace that in, hold on to it like this, move this out of the way, and lace this in. And that's how we do that. But let me show you another way. A lot of people have trouble with not starting the lacing wire, but lacing when the rows are already wrapped. So beads on here. Okay, so if you are just joining us, we are having a lacing lesson. Lace as you go lesson. So if you have any questions if you have any French beading questions, put them in the chat and I will help you out. Okay. All right. So another way that we can do this, we'll start our basic frame. Right. So another way that you can do it, if you don't want to, if you can start your lacing wire after the first row, may not be as easy, right? But you can start it at the first row if you want. I just find it's a lot easier with a row made for me. But if it's hard for you, you can start it right away. Just cross. Okay, let's do here. Okay. So I'm going to flip and get that that second row laced in. Let's see, you may find that if you lace it at a weird spot, you need to undo it because it didn't line up, which is what happened with me. Okay, so let's lace it right here. Okay, that's a lot better. Like that focus was annoying me. Sorry, my second camera is like acting up. I'm sorry, you guys, if it's out of focus. Okay, so now we flip it over like this. And this is our, so you can start your lacing wire at any point, right? You can start after the first row. I mean, you can start on the first row, or you can start, or you can make 2 rows and then start your lacing wire, or you can make 3 rows and start your lacing wire. So it's just what you are most comfortable with, Monica. So, all right, there's that. I'm just going to do a couple more demos on this, just so that you can see. Put this over our finger. Flip. Hold on to it here. Lace. Make our row. Bring the row down. Flip. Hold on to it with my other hand. And lace. So that gets the lacing as straight as possible, right? Well, I guess I wasn't, I assumed, you know what they say about assuming, but I assumed that when you said you had trouble with lacing was that it was not straight. But like, was that the problem? Was there, or like, were there other, was that was there a different issue? Was it too tight, or what was the issue? I just assumed, right? I just assumed. Okay, just enough beads, off by 1, but it's whatever. Should finish this last row. So this is lace as you go, starting from row 1. And this is lace as you go, starting from row 4. So, but you can start at any row, right? You can start at row 1, after row 2, or after row 3, or after row 4, just depending on what you're most comfortable with. I like starting after row 4. So that's just me. But you can do it however, whatever many rows that you are comfortable with. So, okay. Monica says it would end up crooked and way too tight. All right, so I think we covered most of that. Yeah, don't do it too tight. And, you know, a lot of times it will be crooked, and that's unavoidable, right? So this actually is pretty straight. This was pretty straight. But this has a slight U shape to it. And that is unavoidable, right? Just because of the placement of the beads. If I go down this way, it'll be like all the way like down here. So sometimes if the stars align, you would have it completely straight. And sometimes it'll be slightly off, but overall, no big deal. Even if it's like really crooked, I always tell my students that once it is assembled, it will be fine. Once it's assembled and you shape your units, it'll be fine. Okay. Right. So once shape it, then it'll be fine. It may look messy, right? But shape it. A lot of times, and I say this a lot, is you may have the best technique, but if you don't shape your flowers, it just looks boring. But a lot of times, for my beginner students, sometimes you may not have the best technique while you are still learning, but your flower can still look awesome if you just do some shaping, right? Just shape your leaves a little, right? Just give it some movement. It hides those flaws, right? It just hides them and it looks great. Like I said, I was teaching my daughter and her friends, they're like 12-year-olds, um, this past weekend on making the beaded flowers. You know, it look like the first flower, really messy, right? Unavoidable. But the second flower still looks messy, but the technique is a lot better, right? So just shape it a little bit and it looks awesome, right? And I asked one of her friends, um, like I had two flowers, they were the same color, and I said, "Can you tell who who made what?" And you know what? She could not tell who made which flower because it looks so similar, right? So someone who has been beading for, like 23, 24 years, and and the second one was a kid that just started beading that day, and you cannot tell the difference who made which one, right? So just a little bit of practice and a little bit of shaping. Okay. Monica says, I appreciate you so much. Uh, You are the reason I love beading and start French beading. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome, Monica. Um, awesome. If I remember correctly, I think we were in like some other groups together, right? Like fermenting or something like that. Um, but I'm glad you're into French beading now too. All right, so that is it for today. I'll stay on for just a little bit if you guys have any more questions. I'll stay on for just a few more minutes if you have any more questions. If not, then I will call it a day. What do you guys have planned for later? Let's see, this weekend. I really want to I need to get my orders out. I have some kits that I need to get out too. So I want to get all these bead spinners, get all these funnels out. And I also have some kits that I need to get out today. So I don't know if I can get all that done today. I don't know if I can. I'll try. Okay. I'm going to show the website and the code again for the funnel and the base plate. So go to, if you want to, the base plate and the funnel, go to beadflora.com, use the code beads are fun to get 20% off our new base plate and funnel. All right. Let me finish my coffee. See if you've got any more questions here. Again, same time, same place next week. What day is next week? The 12th. So December 12th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for another Bead and Chat um, here with me. Join me again for my office hours. If you have any questions with any of your French beading projects, that's what I'm here for. Okay, so all right, Monica, you got the two spinners. You got the white set. Okay, awesome. I do remember that. That's your order. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Bye.